Hey everybody, welcome back to the Way West Stand. We're joined, as always, by our host, Rhett Conaway. Rhett, how you doing?
Couldn't be better, Brian.
Excited to hear that. I imagine some of the good feelings is because Arsenal is still number one, 50 points. How is this match against Manchester United?
Oh
Three
man,
to
it
two
was it
victory.
was it was proper. It was exactly everything that it used to be. I mean, there was a time when Manchester United and Arsenal were the teams, and this is what every matchup was like. And those times have kind of ebbed away. And this match, it was on a knife edge. Arsenal came out, incredible start, didn't score, but man, they looked like they were going to. Marcus Rashford with just beauty of a goal. My God, he's on fire. Outside of the foot, curls it around everybody, curls it around the keeper, curls it right inside the goal. It was beautiful. Arsenal had the entire run of form, and then Man City's up 1-0. It was heartbreaking for us. 5 minutes later, and I just got done talking to Aaron about this on Swinging at Shins. After that goal went in, they always look at the team celebrating, obviously, and then they pan to the players who just let the goal in. And everyone was it was like everyone was a sergeant and there were no privates, and everyone's trying to, come on, guys, focus, but they're all just like yelling to themselves because everyone's yelling. Like at that point, you're like, yeah, we're going to score again. It's going to be fine. And it was 5 minutes later. Eddie with this beautiful header. Odegaard doesn't, he should get an assist. He won't, and not because like it's the rules. He completely changed the pace of play. It looked like such an easy 1-2. He stopped it. He turned around, played it off to a overlapping Xhaka. Xhaka put it right on Eddie's head. It was gorgeous. It was everything you wanted to be, and it's 1-1, and we're off to the races. Saka had one of the most beautiful goals I've ever seen, and the crazy thing is, he almost did it again in the exact same spot. He hit the post later in the game. It was crazy. Martinez had a wonderful goal. It was a mistake by Ramsdale. He shouldn't have let that corner get that close. He kind of ran into Tomiyasu. I don't think anyone's to blame. At that point, the goalkeeper is supposed to run through everybody. I don't think it's necessarily Ramsdale's fault they didn't get there. I think it's just one of those oopses that happen. But Lissandro Martinez for Man United was right there, headed it, long looping header over everybody. Big Gabby almost got to it. It hits off the top of his head, goes on the roof of the net, and it's 2-2. And then for the final 20 minutes of that match, it just, if anyone was going to score, it's going to be Arsenal. They were on it. They were on it. They were on it. Trossard came in, played it off beautifully, brought the ball forward, played it off beautifully to Zinchenko. Zinchenko back to the middle of the box. Eddie standing right where he needs to be to get the goal. It was absolutely amazing. I loved everything about this match.
Mhm. And so, would you say this was the match of the season so far?
Yeah, yeah, and I think for like everybody, this is exactly what you want Arsenal Man United to be. There's a lot of times where it's not, and of course a derby is local rivalry, but it's supposed to feel like a derby when Arsenal and Man United play. They just have a lot of history together. They met a lot. The Arsene Wenger and Alex Ferguson days, they were always the top two teams fighting each other, and this was absolutely fantastic. And of course, Eddie's goal is the 90th minute winner. It's literally, I mean, as time expired, as we like to say in the football world in America, it was absolutely wonderful. Um, One thing I do want to say about this match, though, is the scoreline is pretty flattering to Man United.
Hmm.
Expected goals have Arsenal at 2.68, Man United at 0.39. That's according to Goal Philosophy. FotMob has an even wider margin between the two.
Hmm.
Arsenal had the lion's share of possession. They had more corners, more touches, more passes, more shots. The only thing that United beat them on from a statistical standpoint was clearances, where United had 36 to Arsenal's 10. The scoreline was a bit flattering. Now, that's not to say that United didn't almost get a draw out of this, because they did. They did what they had to do that. But I'm so excited. I mean, I'm still excited just talking about this match right now because Arsenal played that good the entire time. They were the team that looked like they were going to win. If United got out of there with a point, it would have been considered robbery. I really honestly
Hmm.
believe that.
Yeah, so obviously this was huge for the standings because Manchester United, they're four, they got 39 points. Arsenal wouldn't have gotten the 3 points from this victory. We'll get to points in a minute because I know you want to talk about how many points Arsenal has. So, how big of a match was it for them to win in terms of going forward, potentially getting a title?
It was huge. This is definitely one of the turning points. When you look back at teams that win the title, I mean, like the Leicester City, their Cinderella season, when they beat Man City 3-1, everyone was like, "Oh, okay, this might actually happen now." Um, Liverpool had big wins against Man City in their title run. This could easily be that. United were on a 10-game um, streak of not losing. They were hot. They were coming in. They were doing everything they needed. They had actually won 9 straight going into the Palace match right before this. They were on our heels. They could have brought it very close. And on top of that, City now has played an extra game. We went into this match only 2 points ahead of City. Yes, with the game in hand, but still getting these points against these top six teams. Arsenal had 9 points against top six teams all of last year. We already have 15 this year. And for a resurgent to do that against a resurgent Man United, which, by the way, is the only team we've lost against in the Premier League this season. We lost at Old Trafford. To beat them at home feels very good.
Yeah, so we alluded to it just a second ago. I alluded to it. Um, Midway through the season, 50 points. How are you feeling? And I mean, does this team get 100 points yet?
Oh man, I don't know. It's midway through the season's a bit disingenuous because we haven't played City.
Okay.
Um, However, if we split the games against City, just like
Mhm.
we split the games against United, that is matching up, and all we have to do is perform the exact same against everyone else. But
Right.
that's beating Liverpool again. That's beating Chelsea again. That's not having two draws to Newcastle and Southampton. It's incredibly hard to do that. But I got to tell you, right now in this moment, it feels great to be on pace to be a Centurion. It feels absolutely amazing. And quite frankly, all these people who are saying that the Premier League's weak this year, I don't know what you're talking about. Arsenal has 50 points through the first half of the season. City's at 45. Like it's a very very tight season. Um, Man, I hope so though. At this point, it feels good. It feels it's giving hope. As dangerous as that word is.
Yes, very dangerous. So yeah, I mean, if you had to say, what do you think? Do you think they'll pull this off?
Yeah,
Yeah. All right.
yeah. I'm full on the train. I'm on the train for two reasons. One, I think that City at the end of the day is going to do whatever they can to get a Champions League trophy. And it's hard to do both. It's incredibly hard to do both. And two, and even more importantly than City, to steal what Tim Howard said in the Two Robbies podcast, Arsenal does not blink at any point. They don't. We talked about this in the beginning of the season. They do this all the time. They did it again against United. They get scored on. They score within the next 10 minutes. Always. They do not blink. They always come back and score. They're always fighting for it. They never play down to anyone. That Newcastle game, Newcastle was never going to score that match. They wanted a nil-nil draw. That's exactly what they wanted. I almost said nil-nil victory. That's probably what it felt like to them.
Right.
That's
Right.
what they wanted. Arsenal always plays their match, their game, their tactics. And right now, especially with the City team that's dropped points to Brentford, that's dropped points to United, I mean, we dropped points to United, but I honestly, I really think that they could do it. All
Mm-hmm.
we have to do is, if right now we lost to City at the Etihad and drew them at home, we would still be in the lead.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to beat them. We just have to beat everyone else. And right now, we've proven we can beat everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it certainly see. obviously part of the show is me learning the Premier League and getting into it, but it certainly seems like they're a hot team this whole time that we've been covering them. So, are there any transfers, anything like that you want to get into?
I think that the Trossard transferred was a stroke of genius.
Mhm.
And we're also adding to our youth. I I cannot say this guy's last name yet. But the defender we just picked up, 22 years old, long-term contract. He's going to provide cover. Cedric Suarez looks like he's going to Fulham on a loan. I think that's great for both teams. He was not getting back into our squad right now. Um, Looks like we still want a midfielder, which is everything we've been talking about, and that makes perfect sense. El Neni looks like he's going to be out for a while. So now we're losing what little bit of defensive midfielder coverage that we had. But it's at this point, we joke Eddie's barbecue. Eddie Gaspar is our technical director. He is the guy who decides who the team goes for. He leads all the negotiations. Yeah, the Mudrick thing went on forever, but the Trossard thing was just, and here he was. And you know that stuff happened in the background quicker than that. Um, I trust in these guys. They know exactly what they want to do. We didn't get Lissandro Martinez. We didn't get Mudrick. We didn't get Rafinha. We didn't get a bunch of guys, and we're sitting 50 points halfway through the season. We're gonna go spend money on who we need to spend money on, and not spend money on anyone else that we don't. And Trossard comes right in. He's Premier League proven. Yes, Mudrick looked good in the Chelsea match, but that ended up in a 0-0 draw. Trossard was part of the buildup that got the goal that won us the match against Man United. Yeah, Mudrick has a higher ceiling, absolutely. But right now, we're in a title chase, and Trossard is Premier League proven. He cost 27 million pounds or euros, and that was exactly what we needed at this moment. And heck, he might have already been worth the money we paid for him after one game that he got subbed in on. The coverage he allows is fantastic. I'm very excited about that. I love the business we're doing.
Awesome. And yeah, do you have any promotion for Swinging at Shins? Drop the same day, right? It's coming out
Yep,
same time as this. So give it
just
give the
got
listeners a little preview.
yeah, just got done recording that with Aaron. We talked about obviously Arsenal, Man United. We talked about Liverpool and Chelsea. We talked a lot about Man City and Tottenham, and we talked about the Premier League table and where it's at right now, and why we think that most of the time, or at least I think I swayed Aaron. Most of the time, when people say that the Premier League seems weak, it's not actually weak. It's just teams not being where you think they're going to be. And then we have a new segment. I believe the new segment is also going to be on Wicked Good Sports
Yes.
as a teaser for the whole podcast, but it's a true false segment. We give each other true false statements and then have to defend what our answers are. So that was
Uh,
a lot of fun.
yeah, that
That
sounds
recorded
fun.
very well.
I liked it
It
when you
was good.
pitched it to me. It sounded like a good time. So check that out. That'll be its own video here on Wicked Sports. And of course, Swinging at Shins, top link in the description, as always, on all of our videos. So yeah, Rhett, anything else that we didn't get to that you wanted to?
Yeah, big match on Friday. It's a FA Cup match, so we didn't talk about it and swinging at Shins, and they're just gonna tertiary touch it here. I love
Yeah.
the FA Cup, I do, but we're in a title chase right now. But it's a very big match because it's against Man City. I do not know what team we're going to put out,
Yeah.
and I do not know what team Man City is going to put out. I could see both teams going for it. I could see Man City saying we have at least 5 points, probably 8 points to make up in the Prem, and we want to win Champions League. I don't really care about the FA Cup. I could see Arsenal saying we got to win everything. So this match could be a snooze fest where one team puts out a B team and the other team doesn't. This match could be an absolute cracker and a wonderful preview of what's to come. I do not know exactly what's going to happen. But either way, that's 3 o'clock Eastern on Friday, and I am looking forward to it.
Yeah. So check that out. Of course, that'll be very exciting. And other than that, where can they find you online?
For this, Wicked Good Sports and Swinging at Shins has a Instagram, a TikTok, and a Facebook. And apart from that, I'm boring online, so don't look for me.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, of course you can follow Me online at the fake BMR, the BMA. Our channel is on Twitter at Wicked Good Sport and WG Everything, Instagram Wicked Good Everything, Twitch at twitch.tv/Wicked Good Everything. Also Instagram Wicked Good Sports, of course. And then TikTok, we have Wicked Good Sports TikTok. We have a Wicked Good Everything TikTok. The Wicked Good Sports TikTok is a little bit more active than the Wicked Good Everything, but that's entirely on me there. Other than that, please subscribe to this channel, subscribe to Swinging Shins, and check out on our Better Radio channel, our newest podcast to the umbrella of Wicked Get Everything podcast worth fighting for, where we are covering The Last of Us on HBO. Rhett, you're going to come on there soon, right?
Oh, heck yeah. I cannot wait to be a guest on that.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. Watch for Rhett to come on there. And other than that, Rhett, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Ryan.
We'll see you all in the next one.